Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Perry, and I want to tell you a story. Last night at the reception for the Institute for StoryCon conference here in Savannah, Georgia, I met a young man who is writing a children's book, and he also teaches and writes about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. My eyes lit up, and I was like, "Do you love the movie Red Belt?" And he was like, "Red Belt? I've not heard of that movie." So I pulled it up in my phone because it's actually saved in my phone. It's one of those movie downloads. And so we were talking about it, and I was like, there's this last move. And the message is, there's always a way out. There's always a way out. It's one of the messages. No matter how bad the situation, there's always a way out. And so the last move is this impossible, there's no way out. You can see he's up against the wall. There's literally no way out. He's up against the wall. And then he uses the wall to get out. So then we started talking about other martial arts movies. And I was like, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? And he hadn't seen any of them. And he was like, what? And there were several people who know me from stories, and they were like, I've never known this about you. I'm like, well, you don't know everything about me, but yeah, this is a big deal. This is a big, big deal in my life. And then I looked through real quickly through the movies that I had downloaded. Probably 75% of them were martial arts movies. And they tend to be, I really like Korean movies, Korean martial arts movies, but they tend to be some of the older, more cerebral, tend to be international cinema. They develop the characters first, they let it in. So then I was talking to one of my friends later, and she was like, yeah, what was that movie we watched? And I was like, she was describing something. I was like, girl, I don't know. They don't have no martial arts movies where a man's got two women pregnant. I don't know that movie. She was like, there were two women. She was mixing up two movies, but it wasn't a martial arts movie. So I was like, no, because they're always about, morals and your moral compass and da 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 da. And so I started just kind of looking through my movies, and these were movies that I would watch over and over again. And I realized that since my mobility has become more restricted, I watch less martial arts movies. Now, I've never been able to do anybody's martial arts, but in my mind before, I could watch and kind of feel myself in those movements. And I think I stopped watching because I would see people just flying through and moving so gracefully. Ooh, Man from Tai Chi is a good movie. And something happened when I felt like I couldn't move, and therefore watching those beautiful fluid movements took something away from me. Well, I went to sleep watching a martial arts movie, and it didn't take anything away from me. In fact, it gave me the memory of watching and enjoying someone else's movement and imagining it as my own. If ever there was a time to imagine hope, imagine goodness, imagine mobility, imagine the ability to fly, it's now. And all of us have given up something because we feel like we can't quite do that anymore. Go back to the music you listen to. Go back to the songs that you dance to. Go back to the stories that gave you hope and guided you. Remind yourself again and again and again that if you ain't dead, you ain't done. I love you, and there's still more joy for us to give.